How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another...
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, this is Lost Heroes of the Golden Age, and this time we are actually doing a character from the Golden Age.
Out bloody time.
Shut up. But we've been doing villains so far, so let's go ahead and do another one. We are going to cover the very first appearance of Joker.
Right, my turn. That's right. We are doing Joker on the Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
You've really got to stop doing this.
Did you honestly think that you were going to say the name Joker and think that I wasn't going to take over the video?
That's a fair point.
Of course. That's right. We are doing the very first appearance of Joker, a character who not only almost didn't get made, but a character that almost only had one comic book appearance. Now, I covered this in the opening. Now, I'm not going into a long, drawn-out history of the Joker. He's been around since 1940, and it's 2024. We're not going to get into all of that. But I am going to talk a little bit about his creation and a couple of the highlights that he's had over the years, including the first canonical name that they've given to the identity of the Joker. And then we'll cover his very first story and then kind of glance over his second story. It's not exactly small. But since I'm doing this review, you get to listen to my sultry voice as we review Joker on the Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. The Joker, who may or may not be Jack Oswald White, first appeared in Batman #1 in 1940. The contention with the name, which came out a few years ago, I'm pretty sure came out of a Flashpoint comic, but it is the first time that DC has canonically given the Joker a name. Now, I don't know about the three Jokers. I wasn't currently reading those storylines, but it is the first time that DC gave him a name. Now, as far as origin stories go, there are many different types of origin stories that have been written over the years that either does or does not involve Batman. In fact, Joker came out with an origin story in Detective Comic Books number 168, where he himself is responsible for his skin, hair, and lips transformation after he stole money from a chemical plant and used their drainage system as a means to escape. But if you go by The Killing Joke, 1988, written by Alan Moore, Batman is responsible for the creation of Joker. So it's many things that have been retconned over the years for Joker. He's in the iconic media for him. He's been in television, cartoons and live action, movies, cartoons and live actions, comic books, magazines, promotional material, video games. They can't seem to make an Arkham game without Joker in it in some way. And if you've ever seen anything on Injustice, Joker has some of the best lines. Joker has been played by many iconic people over the years in both voice acting and live action. There's actually way too many to name. Joker has even appeared in the Scooby-Doo cartoon. Don't ask. At first, Joker wasn't supposed to survive past his first appearance. He had two storylines in Batman #1, and on the second appearance of him, he gets stabbed by a knife and it actually killed him. But the editor of DC thought that Joker was such a great character that he said, hey, we're going to make him survive. So they hastily drew a page here, which I will show you, but in the ambulance, a startling fact is brought to light What's the matter, Doc? You look as if you've seen a ghost. I have. I just examined this man. He isn't dead. He's still alive. He's going to live, which is why I think they created this thing called Robin's Regulars. I have never heard of this before. I don't even think it exists beyond this comic. I think that since they hastily made this page, and I love how Bob Kane's little autograph is on here, they made the Robin's Regulars so they could fill out the rest of the page, because this is really stupid. I look over here. Why not become one of Robin's Regulars? No buttons or badges needed. The world will recognize your golden acts without them. Be a Robin's Regular by being regular. There's no pins. There's no badge. There's no point. I mean, you could just say be a good person like Robin. Robin's Regular. It's just ridiculous. Now, Bill Finger did not originally want to do the concept of the Joker. He thought that a cartoonish character like that didn't fit. He just didn't think that there was much of a point to that. But when Bob Kane heard of the idea, he thought it was great and immediately wanted to do that. The concept art comes from, let's see, the concept came from an actor called Conrad Verdict and his makeup for the silent film The Man Who Laughs. If you see this picture, it looks almost spot on to an early Joker in the early phases. And the Joker in his earliest appearances was more on just being a serial killer than he was to being the way he is now. There's no other better way to explain that. Now, he wouldn't get his actual first cover appearance until Batman number 11, and then he has just been one of the most iconic villains throughout time. His origin stories are constantly being rewritten. His origins, his first appearances, they constantly keep changing him, which is why we're not going to go over everything about him. I just thought that some of these key things were interesting in bringing it up, so you would know a little bit more about the creation. But there's just been so much on Joker over the years that, I don't know, maybe Joker is even more well-known than Batman, considering the amount of media that he's been in. Now, as I mentioned, Joker was going to be killed after his first two-part appearance, and the reason that Bill Finger had decided on doing that was if Batman had to keep catching the same villain over and over again, only to throw them in jail and have them get out for him to capture again, it made him look like he was ineffectual. So that's why in the early Batman comics and the pages of Detective Comics, he killed many of his villains because he didn't have to put them back in jail again. And that has actually, the phrases like that have come up in comic books over the years where they've confronted Batman. How many times have you put this man in jail only to have him break out and kill somebody again? I must follow the law. Well, the law is allowing more innocent people to die every time he gets out. I understand the reasoning for Batman wanting to keep him alive and not go down that slippery slope for the way he started in the very beginning. But in Joker's case, I think I kind of would have understood. You know, I mean, like, Batman, stay good, but you did use a God-killing bullet against Darkseid. Would it have been much of an issue to shoot the Joker, too? Anyways, I also think that the Joker is such an interesting character over the years as Batman has actually teamed up with him on more than one occasion. And I actually did highlight Batman teaming up with Joker on my Batman Team Up video many years ago. It's among, like, I think my first 5 or 10 videos. I did a team up list of all the people that Batman has teamed up with in his long and stoic career. Anyways, this video is about Joker. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the very first appearance of Joker in the comics. 13-page stories, not very long. We might gloss over his second appearance. You've already seen the very last page and the final panel that they sketched together at the last minute when the editor said, save him. I would have liked to have seen what the final... Because they didn't end it properly, like Batman will appear or Joker will appear, so it didn't end in a proper way where they had a little paragraph talking about the next issue. So I would have liked to have seen a concept page for the original ending of that story instead of the one that they drew together. I mean, if I could find the original sketch page for that, that would be kind of cool. Anyways, let's go over his very first appearance so you can see how he started, and if you are a Joker fan, you can see how he has been changed over many, many years. Let's do this. Batman with Robin, the Boy Wonder by Bob Kane. Bob Kane put his name all over the Batman stories. In fact, his signature is at the beginning and the end of every one of them in the early days. Once again, a master criminal stalks the city streets, a criminal weaving a web of death about him, leaving stricken victims behind wearing a ghastly clown's grin, the sign of defeat from the Joker. Only two dare to oppose him, Batman and Robin, the Boy Wonder. Two to battle the grim jester called the Joker, a battle of wits with swift death, the only compromise. I have no idea who these people are. It is night in most homes. People listen to their radios. My, isn't this peaceful sitting at home like this? Nothing like it. Static. Suddenly, the music cuts off. A voice, a toneless voice, drones. Tonight, at precisely 12 o'clock midnight, I will kill Henry Cartledge and steal the Cartledge diamond. Do not try to stop me. The Joker has spoken. Once again, the music. Henry, did you hear that? Henry Cartledge, the millionaire, to be killed. The famous diamond stolen. Just like that gag, that's just a gag. Like that fellow who scared everybody with the story about the Mars and the last time. Pay no attention to it, dear. He's making reference to War of the World, which broadcast in 1938. As sensationalized as the story has been over the years, there wasn't all that many people who were scared about it. A little bit of mass panic, but not an egregious amount. Radio station, the Swamp of Calls, and then we go to the house of Henry Cartledge. You've got to protect me. I'm going to be killed, robbed. Don't worry, Mr. Cartledge. You and your diamond of yours will be safe enough. We'll all stay in the same room where the diamond is kept and watch you. I counted, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 officers with him. 10 surrounding and 1 in the middle. The clock strikes 12. He says, I'm still alive, and then he promptly begins to die. He falls down to the ground. The Joker fulfilled his threat. Cartledge is dead. And as he's lying there on the ground, you get this grotesque. I mean, for 1940, that still looks disturbing. Okay, so they say, what now, Chief? And they decide to check on the diamond, which I guess Cartledge told him the safe combo. Now, as they pull it out and he looks at it and he goes, he did get it. This is phony. It's glass. How did you know that's glass? I mean, I'm looking at the picture here and then the picture later. The gem that's on this picture here and in the other panel with the Joker, they look remarkably similar. How did you know it was glass? Did it just not look right? And he says he found something underneath the case, and it's a Joker card. And then we cut over to the Joker, where he has an explanation of what he did. Basically, he said that, the cartilage diamond is mine. Police would love to know how to do it. And then he comes up here with the page and explains it. The solution he injected into the sleeping cartridge at 12 last night. A solution that kills in exactly 24 hours, so that he died at 12 tonight. So he has a 24-hour poison that he injected the night before, and he had already stolen the diamond. So the fact that he had already stolen the diamond, all of this was completely unnecessary. He didn't have to tell anybody what he did. He could have stole the diamond. He didn't have to kill Cartilage, and nobody knew. I guess he just wanted to get his name out there. If the police expect to play against the Joker, they best be prepared to deal from the bottom of the deck. That's one of the most famous pictures from the first Batman. When you see a lot of Joker pictures, they like to show this one. So, they're talking about how the Joker is on the loose, and this scene really confused me. But Bruce, why don't we take a shot at this Joker guy? Not yet, Dick. The time isn't right. But when we do, so the Joker broke into a radio broadcast, stole a diamond, killed a guy, and Batman goes, nah, it ain't time to go after him yet. That's... really? I mean, why not? Joker just killed somebody, and it's... I don't know what you're going to charge for the radio broadcast, but theft and robbery, that's right up Batman's alley. Another night, another break-in, and the same deadly mocking voice with these few people who we don't know who they are. Tonight, in exactly 1 hour, I will kill Jay Wilde and steal the Ronker's ruby. The Joker has spoken. So this guy has a mound of police with him, too. 7 in the room, it would seem. And he believes that he is actually going to die because the first time the Joker made a prediction, it came true. And then the clock tolls for the... Anyways, it gets 10, and he's a strangled scream, and he falls down to his death. And then there is gas that just fills the room. From the armor, the Joker. Yes, Joker was in that suit of armor that you see over here in this first panel where you see the 7 police officers. Now, he says that the gas is just a paralyzer, so he didn't kill all the cops, he just paralyzed them. But he said he shot a concentrated venom dart into the neck of Ronkers. I don't know. So he said he shot a poison dart, which does kill him. The diabolical Joker removes the armor and steals the Ronker's ruby. Thank you all, gentlemen. You have made me happy too. We shall meet again. And then we cut over to these crooks. The police search everywhere for the Joker, but to no avail. But another group is also interested in the criminal. The hangout noted for criminal element. I tell you, boys, we got to get this guy Joker. We got to get the cartilage. We get the cartilage diamond lined up for an easy job, and he pulls it off. That's right, Brute. He's cutting it on our racket. And don't forget, we got to try we were going to try for the Ronker's ruby. So they decide that they want to take out the Joker, so they're putting out words that they have a hit out for him to try to lure the Joker to them. When the sensational news that Brute Nelson is gunning for the Joker travels to the criminal grapevine, the Batman is ready to go into action. I'm going to the home of Brute Nelson. I've heard some news today that over the grapevine that makes me think the time is ripe. So he makes a broadcast and kills Cartilage, and you do nothing. He makes another broadcast and kills the guy and takes his ruby, and you only want to go into action when you hear that Brute Nelson is after the Joker. Your priorities are extremely screwed up. I mean, you should have been looking for the Joker after the first death and murder. Not to mention the second, but you go after them after a criminal is looking for him? You got some screwed up priorities there, Bruce. It is night. Brute Nelson sits in his private house in the suburbs. The Joker, when I get through to him, he'll be the joke all right. Joker busts in, apparently he was listening. You talking about me? And then the Joker busts in, and the cartilage comes out with more men, because, he actually was smart about this. Suddenly, the scrape of a foot is heard on the stairs of the mighty Batman. I'm afraid I wasn't silent as I hoped to be. Yeah, you're usually a lot more just peering out of the darkness. Now, there are a few panels in here that I absolutely love the artwork that goes into them. Here he is leaping down the stairs. They're saying to shoot him. He clobbers them. I like the leap down the stairs. I like how it shows him tackling, the fists coming through, him swinging the chair around to knock the guys out. This is some great artworking and a pure example of how they've said that paneling needs to be done. And at no point is he outside of the panels. In fact, the closing panels around the Batman actually help sell the action scenes, because with parts of like the cape and the legs going out, there's less that you have to do, and more you can the less you have to work with is more believable in selling the artwork. And these are some beautiful panels here. I love the artwork here. I mean, and in 1940, I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the art, but the action that's put into these scenes is actually, it's believable. It looks really good. The Joker decides to take a couple of shots at Brute as he comes out the window and jumps to his car. And then you can see Batman leaping onto the car before it has a chance to speed off. So while Batman is riding on the outside of the car, the Joker tries to take a couple of shots at him but misses. Batman is able to open the door and pull the Joker out before the car goes over the bridge. And the Joker gets a couple well-placed shots in and knocks Batman off the bridge into the water. The shock of the cold water quickly revives Dark Knight. Wow, my head feels as if it were going to burst any moment. Let's see, so he pulls himself out of the water, and then we see him at the home. Once more, the Joker delivers his message of doom. Judge Drake, you once sent me to prison. For that you will die. Death will come at 10. The Joker has spoken. It's 8 o'clock now. 2 hours. So we see that there is a police chief watching him very closely, and he says that there are other guards posted outside. And he wants him to sit down and play cards. The minutes fly by. It's your bet, Judge. You win. I need the ace of spades to make the game. You can't win anyways. You see, I'm holding the winning card. The police chief, the Joker. See, the Joker took the place of the police chief, and he says that he is trussed up in the cellar. Disguise is also one of my many accomplishments, and he takes care of the judge and goes out to report that the judge is dead. Then we see that Robin has been spying on the house. Batman told me to follow anyone that comes out of the judge's house. So here goes. He follows the, well, he doesn't know it's Joker. He follows the figure to the house. The bold young daredevil enters the sinister dwelling. The L and the E are so close to each other right here. I had to get closer to that to realize it was Daredevil enters. It's like, you guys put that way too close together. There's no space between the L and the E. Okay, so Robin sneaks in and starts looking around, and he is hit from behind. The Joker is still dressed in the police outfit. Batman shows up on the scene, and he pulls out an infrared flashlight and talks about how he had, let's see, the invention of mine will come. The red light flashes over the ground. Miraculously, Robin's footsteps go in the dark. This invention of mine will come in handy now. So he's able to follow the footsteps. I mean, I don't know why he just wasn't there with Robin anyways. And he's able to break into the house, and he confronts the Joker. It looks like the Joker was about to inject Robin with the serum that he killed the others with, and Batman wrestles the needle away. You can see the needle in the air. Knocks Joker into one of the machines, the chemical table. A flash of electric light goes on, and gas is starting to go everywhere. So the Joker's hand steadily reaches for the spray gun that had fallen to the floor, and he sprays the paralyzing gas on Batman, and we find that there are flames raging throughout the house. I'll leave you here paralyzed to perish in the flames. Adieu, Batman. But Batman is able to recover quickly and is able to grab Robin and get out before the flames engulf the entire house. The Joker is gone. I'd give anything to know where. Let's see, he boasted inside that he was going to get the Cleopatra necklace next. Why do villains always boast? Okay, so they say that the necklace is owned by Otto Drexel. Drexel. There's not a moment to lose. So we see Batman and Robin heading towards the Otto lives in the penthouse in the building across the street. So they get to the penthouse. I love the way that they animated Batman leaping on here. Yes, the cape goes out of panels. I don't like it when things go out of panel, but the way he's leaping onto the roof is pretty cool. I'm not a guy who likes things out of panels. I like people keeping their work inside. You're given a paneling space, keep the work inside the panel. Oh, it doesn't work. It needs to go out. Well, then make it smaller. Okay, the crazed killer wildly throws bullets after bullet at the oncoming figure. Wouldn't it be better to shoot it from a gun? I mean, you didn't say you shot a gun. You said you threw in the bullets. Okay, well, Batman has a bulletproof vest, so the gun does very little work. Joker throws it at him, and Batman quickly ducks. While Batman gets closer, the Joker leaps to a scaffolding building right next to them, because you can see in one of the previous pictures there's a scaffolding there. He leaps on there, and Robin is there, right in the nick of time. You too? Right, Joker. I'm the ace in the hole. And Robin sneaks in. The only thing I can guess is he slid across the wood floor. It doesn't make any other sense to how he got in there. So he knocks Joker out of the building, and Batman is able to catch him while he falls. You're too valuable a prize to lose. You played your last hand. He knocks him out. Batman captures Joker, leaves Joker in front of the police station, drives away. Now, it doesn't say in and away, but I mean, that's the only way it can be. Okay, and then we'll read these last couple of panels here as they line the bottom. But I'd like to know how his victim's mouth turned up in a terrible grin. Some sort of drug that pulled the muscles of the face. The Joker was a clever but diabolical killer, too clever and too deadly to be free. But even as Bruce speaks at the state prison, the Joker is plotting for his escape. You can't keep me here. I know a way out. The Joker will yet have the last laugh. The Amazing Batman, America's most famous adventure strip character. With that sensational new discovery, the laughing young daredevil Robin, the boy wonder, will thrill you every month with an astonishing exploits in Detective Comics. They're hyping Robin up an awful lot. Now, the second story, we don't exactly want to get too long in this. The Joker does escape from prison and reverts back to his old scheme of killing and robbing certain people, letting people know who he's going after. And Batman almost gets his identity revealed with the police failure to capture Joker. A reporter speaks out against him. So Joker does his, I'm going to kill this guy. He ends up getting him killed. And then the Joker goes back to rob someone else. The police are waiting, and the Joker guns down the police, gives chase to Batman and Robin. And as he's fighting Batman off, he gets stabbed with this knife. And I'm going to go over this last page over here. Peril after peril of wild, hysteric laughter cones from his gaping mouth. Ha 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 ha! The Joker is going to die! Ha ha! The laugh is on the Joker! Ha 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 ha! Clown laugh! Ha 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 ha! The Joker has played his last hand and lost. The Joker, this time he couldn't win. The cards were stacked against you. Look, still grinning in death. Yes. And when the flesh is gone, the grinning skull will still carry the signs of the Joker to eternity. I would really love to see a smiling skull. I mean, that's not how things work. It would be amazing to see a smiling skull. There's someone on the ground. Look, Batman and Robin, Batman and that kid Robin. Let's go, Robin. The police seem to think it's time to take over. After it's all done. The only thing to take over is the body. Why, it's the Joker. It seems Batman has saved us a lot of trouble. We'd better call the ambulance. Well, you think he's dead, you should be calling a coroner. But in the ambulance, a startling fact is brought to light. What's the matter, Doc? You look as if you've seen a ghost. I might have. I just examined this man. He isn't dead. He's still alive. He's going to live. Now, this was the hastily drawn page that was to be included at the last moment so that they could let the Joker live on because the editor didn't want Joker to die. Golden rules for Robin's regulars. Robin's code: readiness, obedience, brotherhood, industriousness. Naticasilism? Wait a minute. Okay, honestly, I think that's supposed to say nationalism, but it says Natic. I think it's supposed to be nationalism. Thank you very much for helping an old man across the street. I'd like to repay you for this. No, sir, I couldn't take anything. You see, I'm a member of Robin's Regulars. Our first motto is always to be helpful for those who need help. Why not become one of Robin's Regulars? No button or badge is needed. The world will recognize your golden acts without them. Be a Robin's Regular. Be regular. You're not in any of the next 5 issues. As far as I can tell, you don't exist beyond this one. Well, I hope you liked this video. I hope that you learned something about a character who's been so iconic over the years, something you may not have known already about him. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. DC month will still have one more, and then until next time, we'll be seeing